So much is happening right now. I have a client that could potentially be in labor, preterm labor, just about 34 weeks. We were trying to get her to 36 weeks as much as possible, but it just seems like this baby is on a mission to be born earlier. So I probably not going to get a good night's rest because we've been texting back and forth. She is feeling contractions. And we're just waiting on her body to kind of tell her when to go to the hospital. So I'm up. But since I'm up, let's make another video, shall we? Welcome to that was such a lame intro. Welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Okay, first off, let me say this. I had a weekend that didn't really allow me the opportunity to really be online. But what a pleasant and amazing surprise to log onto YouTube today and see that I have more than 2 subscribers. You guys, I'm so honored. Thank you so much. I'm going to stay consistent. Even if it's just me talking to myself, I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to keep making these videos. But to the few of you that have made the choice to subscribe and to hear the information that I'm sharing, my story that I'm sharing with you guys, I really appreciate it. So really heartfelt, sincere, a genuine thank you. All right, now let's get into what I want to talk about tonight, because it's a doozy. So you guys know I'm Daina the Doula. I am a Philly-based birth and postpartum doula, but I specialize in helping working moms prepare for maternity leave, postpartum, and also the transition back to work after leave ends, right? And the conversations that I have with my clients, I learn so much from talking to my clients. Even though I'm there to support them, I feel like they support me through my journey as well. And this content sprinkles a little bit of everything. Like I'll be covering a little bit of everything. I talk about being a single mom, an entrepreneur, a homeschooler at this point for the summer. But I think this is a topic that can really help anybody: single mom, mom with a partner, working mom, stay-at-home mom, a mom that's pregnant, a mom that's already in postpartum. This is kind of just like my aha, Oprah moment, my epiphany that I've had, is that the biggest breakthrough that you will have on your journey, you'll continue to have big breakthroughs. You'll continue to learn these life lessons, but the biggest breakthrough that you will have as a mom, as a new mom, as a working mom, as a single mom, as a whatever, a Black mom, right? Because Black women, we tend to be, you know, the savior for our community, for our families, for our children. But that big breakthrough that you have is asking for help. Let me tell you something. I haven't mastered this myself, but whenever I get the opportunity to say, I can't do this, I need help. Like whenever it just gets to that point where I just feel like my back is up against the wall and I have no other options, I can't do this, I need help. It feels like 100-pound weight is coming off of my chest. Why don't I ask for help more often? And I want to ask you that. Why don't you ask for help more often? I know why I don't ask for help. I need to speak to somebody about that. I need to speak to a licensed professional about why I don't ask for help more often. But why don't you ask for help more often? Think about that. Let's reflect on that real quick. So we're in a time right now where the pressure to be all things, to do all things it's such a loud noise, right? Like, especially in these social media spaces, the way that people are portraying their lives, the way they are planting the seeds for perception of like, yeah, look at how it looks like I have it all together. Look at these nice filters that I use. Look at this perfect lighting. Look at this, you know, aesthetically pleasing living space that I'm in. You know, just all the things that we're seeing. And when you get enough of those images, you start to compare and say, why aren't I living up to those standards, right? She is, and I'm not speaking about any one creator or one person in particular. I just feel like there's just like an amalgamation. Is that a word? Amalgamation? I'm gonna look it up and see. There is this big image, right? Just overarching environment of personalities that seem to have it all together, that just have an endless amount of income to be able to take these lavish vacations. But what they're not showing a lot of times is they have help. They know how to ask for help. And we don't have to suffer alone. We don't have to do all the heavy lifting. And I think especially those of us that have partners or that have close knit family units or like really close family friends or villages that we were all promised. It's not always giving what it's supposed to give. But those of us that have that really lean in on those people, because I always say pregnancy and postpartum are really one of the most vulnerable times that you will have in your life. And it's really a toss-up. You might have an amazing pregnancy experience, but then really struggle in postpartum, or you might face some pregnancy complications. In postpartum, you find yourself hitting your strides a little better, or it just might be a rocky ride throughout the whole situation, right? It might take you years to start feeling like yourself again, but the last thing that you should be doing is burdening yourself with things that you don't have to take on, especially knowing that it's not realistic. It's not realistic. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it all, but ideally, it's not healthy to do it all, and it's not healthy to put all the pressure on yourself. This is me. Like when I finally have my therapy session with whoever this person is, I'm looking, by the way, actively looking. When I finally have this therapy session, this is like something that I'm going to lead with. I have so many, I wish I could turn my phone around and show you the to-do list. I have a whiteboard on this wall. So many things. A sane person will probably break these things up like per quarter. Like, this is what I need to accomplish in months, in quarter one for 2025. No, I'm like, I want to do it all this week. And I want to homeschool my daughter. And I want to have a full-time doula business, right? And I want to contract with a nonprofit to help support a research study program. It is insane. It is insane. But I feel like I'm not that much different than my clients, than other working moms that just feel like I have to be busy. I have to be productive. I have to just always be on the move and doing things. A lot of that is like, that was modeled to me. Like, to this day, I've never seen my mom, like, if my mom takes a day off of work, she's still outside in the garden. It's just like, sit down. So when I do have those moments of sitting down, I feel guilty. But like, as a doula, seeing and really driving home the message of, this is a very vulnerable time for you. I know you are a type A. I know you are very high achieving, but you are also exhausted, and you need to listen to your body, and you need to honor and recognize the 5-5-5 rule. Or, as my friend Andrea, a doula based in LA, she says 7-7-7. So you need to be in the bed for 7 days, on the bed for 7 days, or near the bed for 7 days. If you tell a high-strung, type A, high-achieving, super productive new mom that, she's gonna look at you like she's crazy. She feels like it's not possible for me to do that. You have to learn how to do that. You have to learn how to not only ask for help, but to accept help, right? And to appreciate, even though it might come in a form that you're not familiar with or you're not initially comfortable with, but take the help. I promise you, that is such a huge breakthrough moment that you will have, and it will really help you in the long run. Okay, so how do I tie this in to all my genres, right? So if you're a single mom, and a single mom means like, whether you are just doing it completely on your own or you do have a village, sometimes that guilt that comes with it, because listen, I'm there. I have a lot of single mom guilt sometimes. But asking for help does not mean you're failing. Asking for help is so empowering, because it's the best thing you can do for yourself. Single motherhood, you'll learn very quickly that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? Like, you get depleted so quickly, and it is really in action. You see how depleted you can get. And I even catch myself sometimes, like, when I get overstimulated, outtouched, overwhelmed, it's double the work to not be annoyed and irritated and take it out on my small child because it's not her fault. Ideally, there should be another person to help alleviate that, to be my backup, or we work as a team, but I don't have that, right? But asking for help is not only helping me to help myself and refill my cup, but it also is setting a healthy example for my daughter. My daughter should not be witnessing her mother get to a space where she's so burnt out, where she's so overwhelmed that now she is like snapping. That's not cool. So breakthrough, ask for help. I don't know everyone's specific situation, right? But for me, it gets to the point where I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing mommy. Don't say my name. My name's not mommy anymore. Then I have to then say, hey, I can make a phone call. I am blessed and fortunate where I can make a phone call, or I can just ask my mom, hey, can you just allow me some time to have a break? And my breaks don't even need to be that long, because after a while, I'll be missing my daughter. I miss my baby. Bring her back to me. I miss her. I want to hug her. One of the best things I ever did for myself was I took part in like a entrepreneur seminar in Houston. So I got to fly to Houston for a weekend. It was my first time away from my daughter for longer than a night. I got to spend 2 nights in a hotel completely away from her. And it just was amazing. Now, I spent the whole entire time talking about her, which is really embarrassing, but I was with other parents, so they get it. I spent the entire time talking about her, but it was just the recharge that I needed. And I feel like I'm due for one of those weekends. I need to just, even if I just book a hotel in Philly, I just need to go sleep in a hotel bed and be by myself and just be in perfect silence. That would be a dream come true. That would be a dream come true. A tip for my full-time working moms: before you even get to the point where you need to ask for help, you need to identify the blind spots or the sore spots in your life, how it's set up with work, trying to proactively figure out how to put some systems in place to create the balance that you'll need to have. So planning your leave in advance, right? You need to know your employees' maternity leave policy, your benefits, your health insurance, your short-term disability. You need to understand all that inside out, right? Understanding your time off, what the expectations will be once you return to work from maternity leave. Because if you think you can just dive right back into everything and be the, super busy worker bee that you were before, it is not happening. It's not happening. Or if it does, something is going to suffer, whether that's your mental health, whether that is, your ability to have that proper bonding time with your child. Something is going to get right. So you want to, far in advance, make those plans, identify the areas that you will need support in, and also the areas where you're like, I don't have to take that on. Somebody else can handle that. It doesn't have to be me, not your problem. So let it go. And for my mamas that are, if you're in postpartum or you're about to be in postpartum, set up this time to allow you to get the most rest possible. I mentioned earlier the 5-5-5 rule or the 7-7-7 rule. Depending on how much time you have for leave, how much time you are able to just sit and relax and recover, do that. Use all the time, right? If you're not going to be able to have a super long leave, that's why you really need to be proactive in your pregnancy to set everything up, to allow yourself the opportunity to focus on your recovery and not try to scramble and do all the things while your mind should just be processing what you just went through. Just went through a pregnancy, you just welcomed a baby. How was your labor and delivery experience? Because that stuff stays imprinted on you. It stays imprinted on you. So processing it and focusing on alleviating all of the tasks that you can hand off to someone else, whether that is hiring a night nurse, a nanny, a postpartum doula to come in, making sure there's a to-do list, right? I always say the cost for admission to come in, visit the baby is helping me with stuff around the house. Yes, you can come visit after you do this laundry for me, after you help me clean these bottle and pump parts. Yeah, come and hold the baby while I take a shower, bring me something to eat. So finding every way that you can to honor your body, to honor your experience that you just went through, and to rest. That is the breakthrough that you need. Asking for help doesn't make you weak, right? It makes you vulnerable, but this is the type of vulnerability that derives from strength. So it doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you pathetic, it doesn't make you helpless. We have to reframe that. Ask for help. So again, I'm asking my question to myself, why does it take me so long to ask for help? I don't know. I'm wired weird. So you don't have to do this alone because you're not meant to. If you are looking for support, strategy, a space just to talk, this is a sign you've been waiting for. You can hit the follow button, right? Share this with another mama who needs to hear it. And if you are ready to have a one-on-one support session with me, there is a Stan Store link that will be in the description of this video. You can book a session with me. I also have other resources in there for you to be able to download. I wrote an ebook, right? The Maternity Leave Master Plan. I have so many things, right? I will continue to post resources, but make sure you follow me. Make sure we stay connected and stay in touch. If you have any questions, comments. I want to see them in the comments, or just share your experience with me and my client. I just saw a text come through from my client, so I will keep you guys posted with that. But thank you again. Let's do this breakthrough together. My breakthrough is your breakthrough. Your breakthrough is my breakthrough. Let's ask for help. I'll see you guys next time.